It is 12 o'clock. We are officially starting our next class. Thank you so much for joining us. We are here to do a really amazing hair tutorial. I know that a lot of you already have seen a lot of YouTube videos regarding the fishtail braid, but I have my own little way of doing it, and I always start off with prepping the hair and sectioning it accordingly, and I do a lot of teasing and the whole poof thing. So I wanted to show you the way I do a fishtail braid, how to make it very fancy, and then of course how to tone it down and make it a little bit more everyday. So I'm going to go over all those things with you in a moment with my lovely model Irene, who's here with us today, and I'll introduce her in a moment. But in the meantime, I wanted to thank you guys for all of your love and support throughout the last few months of my online classes. I'm so thrilled, being here in front of the camera several times a month. We're trying to do as many classes as we possibly can. And now that you know, I am going to start my tour next week. My world tour starting in Houston, and tickets are like literally this close to being sold out. So I hope that any of you who are in the Houston or Texas area who are able to come to Houston for my class on March 1st can definitely join. And the website for tickets is www.dressyourfacehouston.eventbrite.com, and I do have that link posted like all over my page. So definitely come for that. And then of course I have a ton of tour stops coming up afterward. I have listed all the cities on my post, so you can take a look and see if there's a city near you. You can definitely join. And as we get closer to each city date, I will go ahead and announce what exact date and time and venue we have going on. So right now those other tickets are not on sale yet. I have to make sure everything's set up perfectly, and then I will release the tickets for sale. So in the meantime, I wanted to let you know we have decided on several winners for my last two giveaways. Those of you who have participated, thank you for participating and reposting. Basically, if you're new here, every major episode I do, so not really the bonus episodes, but every scheduled episode, such as today is a scheduled episode that we've been planning for a long time. So every scheduled episode, we do a giveaway of a prize that is corresponded to the topic of the class discussion. So my last couple classes, I did a lip class and I did a Valentine's special. And we have several giveaways from that. So one giveaway that I was doing is the Anastasia Beverly Hills entire liquid lips collection. I'm wearing it right now in Pure Hollywood. I absolutely love that. That was from the lips class. So I have the entire line of Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipsticks for one lucky winner. And then the next class that I did was a Valentine's special. Even though that was a bonus class, I did have a special giveaway in mind, and that was for the full lips. You know that red thing that you suck the lips and it gets all fluffy and big and juicy looking, just so amazing. So that we have 5 winners for that class episode's prize. So I'm going to announce who those winners are now. And again, thank you all for joining. And we have giveaways every time we do a scheduled class. So there's plenty of chances for my members to win, and only my members can win. So I'm going to announce now who won what. So first I'm going to announce the 5 winners of the full lip suctioning device. The first winner is Fei Beauty Boutique. She posted this for her entry, and yes, you are one of the 5 winners of the entire collection of lip enhancers from the lip enhancing line. It's called Full Lips. The second winner is Rupi.man, or Man, RUPI.MAAN. You are the second winner. The next winner is Glamorous Faces by Tasneem, who posted this. You are the third winner. And the last 2 winners are Ashley X Priscilla, who posted a before and after of the Valentine's special, and Glizia Roel, who is the final winner of the full lip suctioning device. So congratulations, girls. All 5 of you will be direct messaged later today or by early tomorrow. And I'm going to collect your shipping information so that we can get your prizes on their way. And lastly, the one very lucky winner of the Anastasia Liquid Lips collection is makeup_by_MAJJ. Here you go. You are the winner. So thank you all so much for joining. And today we have another giveaway that we're going to do because it's a hair class. We're giving away the entire Tamana Complete Styling set by Bobby Hair. Woo! So this is brand new, never opened. So basically it comes with the straightener, 3-piece for the curling wand, that's the base. It has clips, it has a stand, it has a heat protectant mat and heat protectant gloves, plus a 1-year warranty, and this is on me. So we are going to send one lucky winner this entire set worth $200. And if any of you out there want to purchase it, it can be purchased on bombayhair.com. bombayhair.com, and you can use my coupon code TAMANNA. That will give you about $20 off depending on the currency that you're using, so it's 10% off this entire set. So if you want to buy it, go on bombayhair.com. If you want to join the giveaway, I'll explain the rules a little bit later on. So that's all my updates for now. And if you saw my page yesterday, I announced another amazing class that we're going to do on Wednesday. So day after tomorrow, I'm going to have another class. It's going to be evening class. And it's going to be the skin transformation. So a lot of you have been asking, you know, I know your models are always perfect, blah, blah, and I was wondering how you do skin corrective treatments on the skin. So those techniques are very, very similar. I basically do the exact same thing, but there's certain products that I use instead and certain stamping techniques that I kind of elaborate on. And I posted a before and after of one of my models, one of my clients who had a birthmark on her face. She's naturally stunning. But to correct that specific birthmark, I had to do specific things to her skin. And she has been so sweet to actually allow us to see it live. So we are about to see her transformation live in just another couple of days. So if you guys are members, you're golden, you can see it. If your membership somehow expires today or tomorrow, you might want to renew it because this is a very, very important class, doing one of the best before and afters that we've ever had before. And she was so sweet to allow us to do this. I mean, I don't think anyone, even someone who didn't have any discoloration, would allow me to do a before and after like that. But this is the beautiful girl who has the before and after. She had a couple of red marks on her face from birthmark. And so I'm going to show you how I transformed that on Wednesday. So I'm so excited about that class, and I'm super excited about this class. Without further ado, let's bring my model on. Her name is Irene, and you can see her, you can find her on Irene Sarah on Instagram. She also has this really amazing blog, and she's on YouTube. I'm sure you guys have seen her videos. Please welcome Miss Irene Sarah. Woo! All right, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. So we are going to get started on this hair tutorial. If you guys saw the picture that I posted today and a couple days ago, it's a very, very glamorous fishtail braid. But I'm also going to show you how to, like, I guess, tone it down, make it more everyday, more messy, and all that stuff. So we're going to be kind of going crazy with her hair today. We already have a really good set of hair on her, okay? So is your hair naturally curly?
Yeah.
I think that's why she has this amazing volume. So this is all her hair. I do want to talk to you guys about using extensions as well, because I know that not all of us are blessed with full hair. I'm definitely not. I tease the crap out of my hair to make it big. Boom, this is all teased. So I'm going to be using extensions on her as well, even though she doesn't really need it, but we are going to do it for length mainly for her, so I can show you how you can clip in your extensions as well. So these are just basic 24-inch human hair extensions that we are going to be clipping in, maybe not the whole pack, but we can clip it and kind of go nuts with it. So what we're going to do first is take out the tools, and if you guys want to just watch this, since it's live, just watch it, write your notes and everything, and then replay it once we do put it up on the website for the replay. You can replay it and actually practice on a mannequin or on a friend, or you can just practice now, whatever you like. So we are going to use the Tamana Complete Hairstyling Set. I'm going to use this lovely flat iron. This is a flat iron that comes with the Tamana set. It has my name on it, so if your name is Tamana as well, you kind of have to have this. And so we're just going to go ahead and prep her hair first. And then I'm going to section it off, and then we're going to just kind of go crazy with the top. We're going to do this big poof. I know a lot of you love to learn how to do the big poof with the S-wave bang going on, so I'm going to show you that again. We're going to poof this up, clip it in the back, and then in the back we're going to have this cascading fishtail that's going to come forward. So first we're going to prep, but before we even prep, I just want to make sure what sides you want your hair to flip on.
For doing a side part, probably this way.
Okay, perfect. So if you're working on a client, always ask them what side they prefer, because technically you could do either side because we are going to tease it, so it is going to stay very well. But I always like to make sure my client feels comfortable with the side that their hair is parted, especially if they're used to a certain side and then you want to flip it the other side, they may feel weird about that. So make sure you have the side done. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is prep her hair. So I'm going to turn you this way. And so let's just get a little bit of hair out of the way. So we're going to get the bangs out of the way first. Kind of from the top of her bang line, her part line, all the way down to the back of her ear. We're going to get this kind of clipped away. And these are also my Tamana clips. They're gator clips, so they have a great grip on them. And we're going to do the same on the other side. We're going to part this hair on the other side and do the same exact thing that I did in the front. Okay, so now we have all this hair that we need to prep. The way I prep it, especially if all the hair is going to be kind of tied up in an updo or a side do or in a braid, I'm going to prep it using my flat iron. Okay, so right in here, this is the flat iron. I'm going to go ahead and start straightening the roots, even though it's already straight. We're going to straighten the root, and we're going to start curling about 1/4 of the way down. So all of this is going to be curled, and now we have a lot more texture going on in the hair. So that means that when we're finally going to be braiding her, this hair is going to kind of fall right into place. How I'm doing this, I did show in my free class, hair class, but I'm going to show you in detail again. When you go about this way, this much down, you want to flip the iron a full 360 degrees so that all the hair gets wrapped around the iron and you get this awesome curl out of it. Again, going here, we're going to do a full 360 turn and then slowly, slowly, slowly pull it out. And now you have this awesome bouncy curl. So we're going to do that all throughout. What we're going to do also is, while I'm doing this, I'm going to have Miss Irene help me ask and answer some questions that you guys wrote in the Q&A. So for those of you who are just now joining, if you go on my Instagram page, the latest post that I made, which looks like, where's my Instagram? Okay, latest post looks like this. Now on this post, go ahead and comment whatever questions you have regarding hair, and I will go ahead and have Irene ask those questions for you from the comments, and I'm going to go ahead and answer as I'm doing this. Since this is going to take maybe about a good 5 minutes or so, we're going to go ahead and answer some questions. So I'm going to refresh this, and you can go ahead, any hair-related questions in there, go ahead and ask, and then if we run out of hair-related questions, we can answer some makeup-related questions.
Okay, let's see. Is there a way to add that much volume without extensions?
I'm sorry?
Is there a way to add that much volume without extensions?
There is a way. She's asking, is there a way to add volume without extensions? There absolutely is. You have to be kind of a genius at teasing. So what I normally do for my hair is I'll add, I'll do my prepping, which would be like this, curling or with a wand or whatever. And then I go in and start teasing each layer. So I'm going to show you how to tease the top before we even add extensions. So you can kind of take a look at that. But with the correct amount of teasing and spraying, you can get a very fluffy look without having to add so many extensions. But if you're looking for length, then you have to add extensions.
Let me refresh. Can you prep the hair with a wand?
You absolutely can. Prep the hair with the wand for when you're doing like an updo or a side do or whatever. I just find it easier to do the prep with a straightener because that way I can straighten the root in case there's like a little curl. I can straighten the root and smooth the rest of the curls with a straightener that can straighten and curl at the same time, rather than a wand where you can't really straighten with the wand.
Let's see. Questions are still coming in. Okay. But I guess it's a miscellaneous hair question. What do you suggest for static in hair during the winter?
Oh, for static?
Yes, that's not a hairstyle question, but it's a
okay.
Miscellaneous hair question.
Honestly, I've not had a lot of issues with static. Usually, you know this sounds so funny. One of my friends told me that if you use those dryer sheets.
I've done that.
Have you done that? Did it work?
It did. I use it on clothes too.
Okay. So staticky clothes, staticky hair, if you use a dryer sheet and rub up on it, it can help reduce the static. Otherwise, usually, like anytime that I've kind of experienced something like that, I just spray it with hairspray. But yeah, you can try the dryer sheet trick. One of my friends told me. I've never tried it, so let us know if it works for you.
Okay. How often should you replace your hair straightener?
Honestly, most straighteners that I've had have had a life of about a year or so. But there are Bombay hair straighteners I've had for a really long time. I've been using their stuff since they came out with it. It's been well over a year. So I guess always have a backup straightener, because once it dies, you don't want to be left without one. So always have a backup straightener. But there's no like set lifetime of a straightener. For me, because I use it every day, I do hair every day. It may not last as long as if you guys had one and if you're not using it every day.
So this question, I think they're asking because I came with my hair blow dried. They're asking, what would you do if your client started with curly frizzy hair? How do you remove the frizz?
Just like this. So if your client comes in with curly frizzy hair, you want to go in with your straightener, take small sections of their hair, go all the way from their root, start straightening very slowly, and then if you want to curl the ends, you could actually start curling immediately, even if someone's hair is frizzy or curly to begin with, because the straightener is really going to reform those curls in a smoother way. So just do exactly what I'm doing right now.
And a few people are asking, how are you sliding it so easily without pulling so hard?
Oh, it's my amazing straightener. Hello. But jokes aside, you don't want to press it too hard when you're sliding. And also the plates of this straightener are very, very smooth. That's kind of why I chose this design for my straightener, because it does glide very effortlessly down the hair. So maybe your straightener, if you've used it for a really long time, sometimes hairspray gunk gets stuck on it, and that can make it go down pretty herky-jerky. So next time you heat up your straightener, if it is dirty, use a cloth, like a warm, wet cloth, and while it's hot, you can scrape it off with your cloth, or I use my nails sometimes. And it'll scrape off all the gunk so that you can definitely just use it a lot smoother. But I mean, the plates definitely matter. You want a very smooth plate.
Let's see. A few people are asking about extensions, like if you have thin hair, will the clips show? And then what are some options for hair or girls who don't have thick hair like me?
Okay, so when it comes to extensions, if you guys have thin hair and you're worried about, right now I'm just kind of lightly spraying just so it doesn't open it. If you guys are worried about the clips of the hair extensions showing, you need to tease their natural hair first, or your natural hair first. So if you tease the hair very densely, which I'm about to do on her top after I'm done prepping, tease the hair densely, spray the tease so that the tease doesn't get undone. And then you can clip them in so that the teasing part basically covers up the clip. So there shouldn't be too much of an issue. But also, you don't want to ever really put hair extensions towards the top of your hair, because sometimes the top of the hair splits. So even if it's teased, if there's any type of split on the top of your head in your crown area, the clips are going to show. And sometimes it even weighs down the hair, because I like a big poof right up here, which is what I have going on here. So I like the poof, and then what I do is when I clip in extensions, I clip them in from like midway down to the nape of the neck. I usually never clip anything up high, just in case of a split.
I accidentally left your phone.
Oh,
sorry.
No worries.
Okay. Let's see. Is it better to add extensions after you style the real hair, or style it all with extensions in?
It depends on what kind of hairstyle you're doing. If you're doing a down do, I kind of go as I style. So like I start with the bottom like I did on Irene. I start curling the bottom, and then what you could do is if you know you want to put an extension piece there, I would tease the root, put in the extension, curl that as well. And then go to the next real section of hair, curl that, tease the root, and put in the extensions again, and then curl the extensions. And then you just keep going that way. Now, because we're doing kind of an all tied up hairdo, not an open hairdo, I'm going to be adding extensions only where I need them and only towards the nape of the neck because I'm looking for that cascading length. So instead of putting extensions everywhere and then tying it up, which is going to be very hard because you're going to have to keep away from the clips, you're going to have to make sure that there's no bumps and weirdness. I prefer to put extensions towards the end of the hairstyling if the hair is all up or all tied up, like a braid or something, or an updo. But if again, like I said, if the hair is all down, then you can definitely put in extensions as you're styling them.
Let's see. I'm trying to skip all the makeup questions.
Okay.
And stick to hair. Let's see. A lot of people are asking about what to do about frizzy hair.
Yeah, for frizzy hair, you just need to make sure, like, I don't blow dry. Just so you guys know, like, I don't have an assistant and I do not blow dry. So I expect my clients, and they know this, to come in with non-frizzy hair. If their hair is still frizzy, then I can easily go over it with this flat iron. But again, time is precious. I'm only one person. I book back to back. So I cannot waste time on too much prepping. So I do expect them to already have their hair frizz-free before they walk into my doors.
Yeah, frizz seems to be the most popular question. Even like frizzy hairlines.
Oh,
Because that's me all day.
You know what? If you have a lot of frizz on the hairline, like after you straighten it, definitely spray your finger. Like spray your finger and then like slick it back with your finger. And you can also use forming creams for that as well. And another thing is if you do have a very mini straightener, like those tiny ones, that will help with shorter hairs as well. So you can get a nice smooth hairline.
I feel like a lot of guys use those.
Oh yeah, I got one for my hubby. I use it on him all the time.
Yeah. Let's see. All these makeup questions.
You know what? If there is a lot of like makeup questions, go ahead and ask those too. In case there's not a lot of hair questions. Because I feel like with the hair stuff, I'm going to be answering it as I'm demonstrating anyway. So most likely I'll be answering all your questions without even knowing your questions.
Okay, so here's a makeup question, I guess. This girl's asking, what do you do for brides who don't want false lashes? How do you make their eye makeup look complete? That was me today. I came in with no lashes.
Yeah. So if your bride does not want any false lashes, what I normally do is I go very dark with her eyeliner. And I make sure that I smudge it a little bit smokier. So I go with her top eyeliner, I make it very black, and I set it with black eyeshadow so that it almost looks a little smudged. And same with her bottom lash line. And definitely curl her natural lashes as big as as much as possible so it's like sticking up, like standing up. And then put a crap load of waterproof mascara on her because waterproof will lock in that curl a lot better than a non-waterproof mascara. And I want you to go ahead and do several layers of mascara. So if that means putting on a layer of mascara and then waiting for it to dry and then putting on several other layers after that to build it up and make it spidery as much as possible, then do that.
So this person's asking, what do you suggest for a foundation color if the face and neck are darker than the rest of the body?
Okay, so that is a little bit tricky. It depends on how much of your skin is showing for that event or that day. So if you're going to be wearing something that is very revealing, you want to make sure you have enough highlight on your face to match the rest of the body. So make sure your highlight is nice and bright. I wouldn't lighten the whole face and neck because there is that issue of when you go a lot lighter and put it on a tan skin girl, their skin's going to look gray. So we don't want to look ashy or like we're trying too hard to look white or whatever. So my best advice is really to get a self tanner, tan the rest of your body so that it matches your face and neck. And that way you can get that dimension on your face with the highlight and get that nice contour with everywhere else and still not look like two different people, like with someone's head on someone else's body. So try to get a spray tan or get a self tanner to even out the body glow.
So a hair question, someone's asking, would you do the same steps for short hair, like shoulder length hair or whatever?
Yes, absolutely. But this is a fishtail braid class. I do not do fishtail braids on someone who has short layers or short hair. Because of the way we're braiding, which you'll see in a moment, the little spikes of the ends of their real hair is going to poke out and look really messy. So normally, if I have a bride that wants a fishtail braid and her hair is this short or she has a lot of layers, I just tell them, unfortunately, I don't think that would be the best style for you. Even if we did add extensions, your real hair is going to poke out. Unless you want a messy fishtail, then that would totally work. Messy, spiky fishtail would totally work, and I'll show you that at the end of class. But when it comes to like a clean bridal fishtail, it won't work out very well.
So don't chop your hair before your wedding.
Don't chop your hair before your wedding.
Let's see. Do you always set the front of the hair last?
Yes. The front of the hair, meaning the bang area, I always deal with it at the very end.
Let's see. Are there any extensions you recommend?
I always use Bombay hair extensions. I'm actually coming out with my own line through Bombay hair as well. You know how I came out with my Tamana Complete Styling set? We are working on hair extensions, including ombre extensions, highlighted extensions, lots of dimension in my extensions, and of course, different lengths available, super long as well, and really, really thick. So that should be coming out sometime in the summer, because I'm so picky about colors. It's taking me forever to like approve. So I just want to make sure everything's perfect before it comes out. So that's coming out soon. But before I was even testing my hair extensions, I have always been using Bombay hair extensions for the past 2.5 years. Basically, as soon as they, kind of opened up their stuff, I've been using their hair extensions, and I've noticed that it's very thick and long. And the cool thing is, that the Bombay hair extensions are just as thick at the root than they are at the ends. So it's not like straggly ends. It's super heavy and thick. So you don't even need a whole pack to use, and you don't have to worry about straggly ends. So I do recommend theirs. I've used a whole lot of like other ones like from the mall. Those ones got damaged really fast. I wasn't in love with those. And then I've also used some from beauty supply store, Sally's Beauty Supply. Those are so stringy at the ends, it just wasn't worth the price.
Are you curling the hair in the same direction?
Yeah, because all the hair is going to be tied up, it doesn't matter what direction you're curling it in, as long as everything is smooth. And the only reason why I'm even curling the ends is so that when I'm braiding her, the hair will flip really nicely and not be all spiky and straight and stuff. So that's the only reason why I'm even curling her hair to begin with. Otherwise, if her hair was doing an updo, I would curl it a lot more, and we could do like a really cool updo with this. And if her hair was down, then it would matter what direction you're curling it in. If you want it kind of coming out like Farrah Fawcett, then you need to make sure you're curling it away from the face and then kind of V'ing it out. Or if you're doing the Hollywood wave, that all has to be the exact same direction, because a Hollywood wave is a finger wave. It all has to be aligned.
Okay, so I think this girl was having some tech issues earlier, so she might have missed why you curl the hair first.
Okay, like I just said, I curl the hair first because I need the hair to be cooperative of what I'm about to do to it. So when hair is very straight and very silky, when you're trying to do a braid or any type of updo, it's not going to, it's going to stick out. It's going to be a little harder for it to cooperate with you. So I curl the hair first, basically also to make sure that everything is nice and smooth, but also to get the hair to cooperate so that when you are doing an updo or a braid, that the hair kind of flips right into place.
This is a super open-ended question, but how do you fake bangs?
How do you fake bangs?
Yeah.
They do have clip-in bang extensions, clip-in bangs, which are really easy. It has a clip up here, and then you can create that. And that's pretty much the only way to legitimately create fake bangs. Another way that you could do it if you really want to be creative is use your own hair.
So a lot of people are asking about product. Are there any shampoo, conditioners, hair masks that you love?
I am not a product junkie at all. I'm a very different type of makeup artist and hairstylist where I'm just not into hype. I'm not into gimmicky products or anything. The only product that I use literally for hairstyling at least is hairspray, the Trust Me hairspray right behind me. And then when it comes to like shampoos and stuff, I love Trust Me shampoo. Like I have tried every expensive brand there is out there and I was very, very disappointed. So one day, I was just talking to one of my employees when I was working as a cosmetic department manager at Lancome. And one of my employees, her hair smelled so good. And I just asked her what shampoo it was, and she said it was Trust Me. And her hair was like perfect. I had just like bleached it and gave her like a ton of highlights, and it still was very silky. So I wanted to give that hairspray a try, and since then I've loved it. I think it's way better than any of the $50 hairsprays out there. As far as like not hairspray, but shampoo and conditioner. But like I said, I've tried a lot. You just have to kind of see, like all of our chemistry is different. You have to kind of try and see what works best for you. And I'm not really into hair masks. I don't have time. I literally have no time for myself, so I don't really do any of those pampering stuff. My hairstylist is Alan M. in Beverly Hills. If he needs to give me a treatment, he'll give me a treatment, and that's kind of it.
Cool. Let's see.
I'll turn you this way.
More foundation questions. Do you match foundation and powder to the lightest part of someone's face or the darkest?
I am not very picky on foundation color. You know what? I'm going to go really into crazy detail in my next class on Wednesday. But right now, if you look at my Valentine's tutorial, which is still up, it's a full face makeover starting with primer, foundation, all that stuff. And I explained that I'm not picky about foundation color because I do so much stuff over it to add so much dimension that you end up not even seeing the foundation color to begin with. So when I match it, I usually do match it to the brighter color of your face, which is usually the center of your face. That's where I match it. But the perimeter, I like to go in with a much darker color because naturally we are a little bit darker around our edges. And if we want to shadow up our cheekbones and our jaw lines to make it look like a different shape, then you are going to have to go a lot darker. So again, I'm not really picky about foundation colors. If you have two major different colors on your face, if you have a lot of freckles or whatever, then you usually match it slightly darker than the lightest part of your face so that you can, fade any discolorations a lot easier. If you go too light, then if you put it over your dark areas, it's going to turn gray, and that's not at all what we want.
The questions are slowing down, but someone asked if you can please do an updo in a future class.
I will absolutely try my best. We are in the process of getting the certification courses out. So for those of you who are very serious about updos and makeup and want to get certified online, there's going to be an entire set of classes that are going to be pre-recorded so you guys can watch it over and over again. Those of you who would like to get certified, that's going to roll out within the next month or so. And after that, maybe in another month or so, we're going to get the hair certifications out. So in that curriculum, it's going to be mainly updos and things like that. I'm only afraid that because a lot of you out there are learning for yourself, or you're not actual hairstylists or whatever, that if I show too much advanced hairstyling, that you may not be able to replicate it because you have to kind of like really dig into this. So I am going to teach some kind of simple updos you can do on yourself, updos that look beautiful and look like it takes a lot of time, but something that's not too time consuming, to show you some basic updos. But the very advanced stuff will be in the hair certification classes, which are hopefully going to be out in the next couple of months.
Do you use hair stuffers, and if so, when would you use them, for updos only, or can you use them when the hair is down?
Hair stuffers like those donuts or the French roll looking things, I use them mainly for updos. I usually never have to use them for downdos because I tease so well. So this next section that I'm going to do, we're going to stop with the questions for now. We're going to resume later. This next section I'm going to show you exactly how I tease and why I don't really need a stuffer up here. So we're still going to leave this aside. Her bangs are kind of pushed away. And now I have this back part of her hair that we're going to tease. So first things first, I'm going to be using my Leila Milani teasing comb and my Tresemme hairspray. And I start with the very top. I take a nice 1-inch thick section, and I'm going to flip it kind of forward, her forward, and I'm going to tease like the crap out of it. And I tease it until the hair is standing up with no problem. Make sure your tease is pushed all the way down to her roots, because if you're teasing midway up here and it's not all the way down to her roots, then when you pull it down, her root's going to fall, and then all of a sudden there's a tease after it. So you want to make sure the tease is being pushed down all the way to her scalp, so that when you spray it, it can just kind of stay up as high as possible. So we're going to do this all the way down her crown. So we're just going to tease, 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 push that tease all the way down to her scalp really heavily, and give it a spray at the root. And I'm just going to keep doing this until I'm about halfway down her head. It also depends how crazy we want to go. You could technically tease the whole head so that the whole thing cooperates, but the heaviest tease should be right at the crown. So I'm kind of going nuts here, pushing everything down, making sure that it cannot fall.
Feels good though.
Feels good?
Yeah.
Good.
I like those.
Nice and secure. And we're just going to push all this tease down, spray the roots. Another thing that I'm doing is I'm doing it in brickwork. So I'm not doing like tease, 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 tease. Let me turn you around. I'm doing it like a brick. So like I'm laying bricks. So for example, I did 2 sections of tease here. So right in between that, I create another section here to cover up that split in the hair. And now here, I'm going to split and do 2 sections right here. So we're just going to flip this up. I'm going to do the next section on this side so that it kind of covers up the split from earlier. Tease like crazy. Push that tease down to the roots and give it a nice spray. So it's all like laying bricks. You don't want to do it all linear. You want to kind of go zigzaggy with it. Tease, 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 go nuts. Spray. And we're just going to keep going until we reach like the top of her ear. I can't wait to show you the fishtail part. It's so beautiful. But this is the main part of this class, is so I could show you how to make it very formal, very fancy, and add that nice big bump on the top. I get this question all the time. How do you get that beautiful, clean bump on the top? And how do you do that flippy bang thing? So I'm making sure that I'm incorporating that into this hairstyle so you guys can see how fancy a fishtail braid can look for a bride for her henna night, for Indian or Dixie brides, or you know, using it for your bridesmaid's hairstyle or something cute. Or even if you're going on a special date. Usually for dates, I don't like to go too formal. So you can definitely dress this down, which I'll show you. So again, tease, tease, tease. Push it all the way down to the scalp. And this is our last section. And spray. Okay, so now that we've done kind of ear to ear, I'm going to go in and start adding extensions towards the nape of the neck, because that's what I'm going to need to cascade down for her fishtail braid. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to section this away. And before we add extensions, I'm going to just take little sections of the hair, and I'm not going to go and put extensions on the sides of her head. I'm going to focus more, like, let's say, oh wait, your hair is, where is it parted?
Here.
This way? Okay, so since her bang is parted this way, the fishtail braid is going to go the same direction, the same way. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus our hair extensions to kind of pull this way, not so much on this side. So I'm going to lightly tease in between her hair in a few areas on this side, so I can put the hair extensions in and they won't slide out because I teased her hair. And I'm going to make sure that those clips are nowhere near the sides of her hair, the hairline on the sides, because I don't want us to gather all the hair and then see the clips. And then one last piece here. Okay. So we're going to start adding in a few extensions here and there. I'm gonna remove, okay, we're gonna move this way. So let's see which ones we're gonna use here. So I'm gonna use a double clip one, not the really long lengthy ones, but the double prong, so that I'm not having to put it from ear to ear. It would be towards the center, a little off. So what I did was I just clipped it right here. There's nothing here, because that's the side of her hair. It's all going to be pushed this way. So I don't want any clips showing. And then I did it a little bit off of her hairline on this side. So we're going to bring down another section of hair here. And do the same type of clipping. On this section, since it's a little higher, we could do a 3-clip, like this, and it's still not going to be on this side of the hair, and it's still not going to touch her ear. So make sure that's clipped in nicely. Okay, so far we have some pretty decent length. This is her hair here, and then this is what we're adding in. We will be prepping the ends of this hair as well. And what we can even do is add another section right on top of that section to double up on that. So we don't have to go too high with it. I want to keep this hair pretty low because I need that length to go down. The higher we go, the shorter the hair is going to be up here. So we need that length. So I'm going to keep sticking to this lower nape section. So I'm just kind of clipping right back where that previous clip was. There we go. Let's see if that's good enough. Maybe one more good piece. And that would be, let's see if this wider one would do. No, I think that's too wide. I don't want any clips showing. So we'll go back to a 3-piece, the 3-clip one. Right in here. There we go. Clip that in, and bam. Oh, there's 4. Okay. All right, now I think we're good. We have more than enough hair to work with. I'm just going to quickly prep the ends of these hairs. They're already kind of wavy, but I just need to make sure the ends are a little bit more curled. So I'm just going to run this right through. And now the ends of this is nice and bouncy. I'm going to do that all throughout her extensions. Get that done. These babies. And the extensions will help in case she does have any little layers going on in her hair, which she doesn't have a whole lot of layers. She only has a little bit of front framing layer on her bang area, but because her hair is shorter, it's going to end up looking like a layer. So these extensions are going to help cover her shorter hair for the braid. All right, now we're officially done with the prepping. And what we're going to do now is start bringing down all this hair section by section. Sorry. There we go. So we're going to take down one section at a time. I never flip the whole hair back because then it gets really messy up here. So I'm going to take down one section at a time and spread it. This is another little thing I make sure all my students do before we do any type of pitting up. So taking a section of that teasing, spreading it out, taking another section down, spreading it out. This one, spreading it out. Here, here, did a little spread. All the way till you hit the top. That way, there's no mess of directions. Everything is nice and smooth. And this is how it looks in the front. Very fluffy, very big. Oh, Google is just like turning you around. So very big and very fluffy. So now, we are going to take this top part that we teased very well. And we're going to very lightly brush it into almost like a ponytail. So this is the boar hair bristle brush. I got this from Sally's Beauty Supply. And I'm just going to smooth out the very, very surface of the hair. So I'm not pressing hard with this brush. I want it to be like a nice big poof. So I don't want to weigh it down. So all I'm doing is lightly just getting that hair to come into a nice poof. And we're going to spray it so that it doesn't move. Do another little light stroking to get the baby hairs in or the frizzes in. Smooth, smooth, smooth. Don't press hard. Don't put too much pressure on the hair. We want it to stay as poofy as possible. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start pinning the base of this bump so that we can get an amazing strong hold on this poof so that a monkey could dance on her head and nothing would happen. Oh, where's this? Okay, there we go. Okay. So again, get all your hair. I'm going to turn it around so you can see exactly what I'm doing. We're going to give it one twist. Okay? So not a whole twist. We're going to take this hair and twist it over. Let me just respray it a little bit so that it can cooperate with us. Okay? So one twist, like that. And we're going to pin that in. I have a bobby pin here. We're going to just slide that pin directly across so it can hold it up. I'm going to do a few pins because she does have pretty thick hair. So I'm going to pin it kind of a few more pins to get across all her hair. And then we're going to adjust her poof accordingly. So once it's pinned, you can adjust the poof and clean it up a bit. Okay, so now that I've pinned all her hair, I can yank it, it's not going to come down. Now I'm just going to adjust some areas. So over here, I may want to go a little poofier. Here, just kind of stick your comb in and pull out, and you can get it really big and fluffy. So now we have this awesome big poof. And we could make it even bigger if we wanted, but I think we're good. Let's not go too nuts. Oh, you can kind of see yourself in the mirror over there.
I know, I was like,
cool. I just realized, yeah, we're adding inches to the height. We're right here. Okay, so I spray like crazy. I need to lock that down. I don't want any of that getting messed up while I'm doing the rest of her hair. And I'm just using this part of the comb to smooth this out. Never use the comb to brush the hair after you've pinned it because it will pick up little hairs and it will stick out and look all crazy. So you just want to use the back, the rat tail part of the comb to smooth it in and get this bump going. So now I can bounce my hand on her bump and it's just going to fluff right up because we've done some crazy teasing in there, crazy spraying, and there are no extensions in this section of her hair. All of her extensions are down here. So we don't have anything weighing down her hair. This is all her. Poofy poof. Okay. So now we can go into this awesome fishtail braid style. Okay? Are you guys ready? So, first things first, I'm going to do a couple of fun little things in the back to get us started, and then we can go into the fishtail braiding. So the first thing I'm going to do is this fun little thing that I kind of started doing for my henna night brides, is I start to take a section from this side. Okay, so a nice clean section from here, just to start pulling the hair in that direction. Because right now it's very central, right? So we want to pull the hair and get it all to kind of go that way. So I'm going to take that section and spray the living life out of it and smooth that in with my fingers. So now we have a ribbon here, okay? So I'm going to take this ribbon and we're going to pull it across and pin it right in here. So I have this bobby pin. Let me go on this side. I have this bobby pin and we're just going to pin it right in to the hairdo. Bam. So now we have started to establish the movement and direction. Now slowly the hair is going to be pushed that way. Now, in order to start our fishtail braid, we need to kind of have enough going on up here so we can start the braid down here. So to fake a little braiding action, I'm going to take a little piece from here now and bring it over here. So we're going to just do some cross plaits, which is not the braid, but it's going to look like a braid. So we can do this. So if it was a regular French braid, we would have been able to start up here and do it down. But because this is a fishtail braid, it only requires 2 sections, and the sections have to start a little bit low in order for the braid to happen. So that's why I'm even doing this part. So now I have this piece, and I'm going to pin it underneath the previous fold. Pin it really strong. There. Is this okay? Are you good?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So we're pinning that in there.
Can't feel it.
Oh, good.
So thick.
You're like, my hand's numb now. I really can't feel anything. Okay. So now we have some of this going on. I'm going to just do 2 more, and then we can start the actual braid. It's really just to establish the cleanliness on the side and establish the direction. So again, I'm taking this lovely piece here, right in there. See that? That's the final piece underneath, and that's what's going to keep the hair into a side do rather than just a braid. Braid that really strong. Turn it into a ribbon, a nice strong ribbon. And bring it over and pop it in. So if you guys are hearing a lot of noise, it's because we are in an actual studio today. We are in a photo shoot studio called the Notion Studio, and the photographer, Demir K, he's amazing. He's a celebrity photographer and everything, and he's allowed us to use his space today. And it's in downtown LA, so you might be hearing a little, foot traffic. So that's what's going on, in case you're like, where the heck are you? It looks totally different from your other classes. Well, it's because I have decided to borrow some studio space today. I'm just putting in another pin so I can make sure that nothing's moving. Okay. And then finally one more on this side and we'll be ready to roll. So I'm taking a small section here and I'm going to bring it over here. Spray it like crazy. And pin it in. So when I'm doing this side, because this is where the braid goes, okay? If I'm doing this side, I'm not going all the way to this side to pin it up. I'm pinning it closer to the side that it's on, which is over here, because I need all that hair to be on that side anyway. So don't get me wrong, I'm not taking any hair from here and putting it all the way on the other side. I'm doing that from this side, putting it all the way here, but the other side, you're only pinning it under the previous section. So right in here, and we're just gonna pin it right into the previous section. Okay, so do you guys see this crisscross pattern here? A little bit of crisscross pattern. That's what's establishing the gorgeous, gorgeous braid that we're about to do. So now we're ready for the fishtail braid. So we're going to split the hair into 2 equal parts. Okay, so we have one section here and one section here. Let me bring a little bit more from this side. There we go. Okay, I'm going to spray it a little bit because I don't want it too frizzy. So I'm just spraying it to smooth it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start the actual fishtail. So I'm going to take a section from the back of this piece. Well, I guess we can go like this. From the back of this piece. And I'm going to add it to this mass right here. Then I'm going to take a piece from the back of this, so the back of this round, bring it forward and add it to this mass. And make sure you pull to tighten. Okay? Again, we're going in the back of this piece and bringing it forward and crossing it. And then we're going to go behind this piece, bringing it forward and crossing. Back of this piece, bring it forward and tighten. And then behind here, do the same thing. Make sure, if you want your braid to look more intricate, take smaller sections. If you want the braid to look thicker, then take bigger sections. So I'm taking kind of small to medium sized pieces and placing it forward. So remember, always take your piece from the back. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking my piece from the back. This is a little bit big. There we go. And bringing it forward like that. And then I take a piece from the back of this and bring it forward to add to that. Okay. Go for it. So I hope you guys are following me. I'm taking pieces from the back and I'm bringing it forward and adding it to the other side. And then I'm going to take a piece of the back of this side, pull it forward, and add it to the previous side. Like that. We're going to end up loosening up this braid, so if it's a little messy, it's totally okay. This whole braid is going to be opened up a little bit. Again, take a piece from the way back and then bring it forward and add it to this side. And then I'm taking a piece from this side. Sorry, I'm going to turn you a little bit more. This side, a little tiny piece, and bringing it forward to the other side. So just keep doing that motion over and over. And you just finish up the whole thing. It really helps to have nails because I'm using the pointy part of my nails to go in and get these small pieces. If I didn't have the nails, I would have to really be careful using my fingers. Okay. And we're going to do this all the way down. So now I'm approaching the level of where her natural hair is. So if you feel like it's getting too spiky, just give it a little bit of a spray so it can stick to the other hairs. Take a piece from here, do the same. Take a piece from here, do the same. Again, I'm taking pieces from the back, bringing it forward into the other section. Take a piece from the back of this section, add it to the first section. Number 1 and number 2. Number 1 and number 2. So keep doing that all the way down. You get used to it. You just have to practice a few times. But you get the hang of it. Once you've done it enough times, you just don't even have to think. It just kind of flows. So see how some of this hair is spiking out? It's from her natural hair. And because we've curled it, it has a natural curve to it, so I can just spray it right into the rest of the hairdo. Take this in, take this out, bring this in, go out here, bring it in, bring it over, add it to the second side, bring that part over, add it to the first side, bring that back over, add it to the second side, back, forward, back, forward. So it kind of gives you this awesome crisscross cross pattern. Okay, so now that I'm towards the end, and I like the ends being all loose and stuff, I'm going to give it a nice spray just so that it doesn't go crazy on me. And we can bring it forward and have it into a really cool fishtail. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to loosen it up later. For now, I'm just going to add a little tiny black rubber band. And I'm going to fasten the ends of this so that I can start working on the bang area, and then we'll come back to the braid later, okay? So there's the full braid, fishtail braid, looking good. We're going to open up some pieces, make it all loose and thick and stuff, and we'll do that later. But for now, I just want to show you the actual braid. We'll put that aside. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece and we're going to add it in somehow. So we're going to wrap it around and create some cool pin curls out of this. This is also going to help with this wraparound too. So what we'll do here is tease the base, this section here, just so it can kind of go in the right direction. Tease the base, spray the base, and then spray all of it. And we're going to use this brush to brush this back. Okay, so now we have this really smooth side here. We're going to spray a little bit over here on the baby hairs, just so we can slide it into the rest. Like that. Yeah. So now we have this beautiful piece of hair that we can use anywhere we want it to go. So I'm going to spray the rest of it so it turns into a ribbon. Bam. And now we can slide it over and add it to the rest of the do. So I'm going to slide it over and put a pin in here, and then we might add like a little ring curl, pin curl. So we're just going to pin that in first. Make sure that's all secured, and we'll deal with this little piece later. We're going to do the S-wave now. I really want to show you the S-wave. I showed it in the Hollywood style class, which is like long gone. So for those of you who are new, you guys are going to love this one. So first things first, take the very top section and tease it. We've already curled it. So all we need to do is tease and set it. Spray it. Take the next section, pull it straight up, tease, spray. Next section, and spray. And we're going to do this not all the way down, but almost all the way down. Just one last piece. The rest of this hair, I'm just going to pin it back, get rid of it. Okay, so there we have this hair. I'm going to tease behind it so it can go in that direction, and I'm going to spray it again, just like the other side. And we're going to smooth this. Smooth this back, and we're going to add this into the rest of the do real quick. Another thing you could do, actually, you know what, before I even add it back, I think I want to do the pin curl thing, which is what I took a picture of. So what we'll do here is we'll bring it down, and we're going to add a little pin curl here. I think that will look better. So we'll take this, spray the rest, and we're going to wrap it around our fingers so it's a nice little circle, and we're going to roll it up in here to create a soft pin curl. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we're just rolling it into a soft pin curl. And the way I pin a pin curl is I just take the inside of the curl where the pin is going to be a little bit invisible, and then you spray your curl like crazy so that it doesn't unravel. And that's kind of why I like the Tresemme hairspray, because it just holds so well. So now, remember this pin curl that we had from putting that piece over here? So we're going to spray that now and kind of add it to the glam of that original curl. Okay, so that's just going to be a little bit loose right there until we are done with the whole style. So now we have that down. Now we're going to take the next section. We're going to spray this section really well. Smooth it out, especially at the root. Make sure that front part is really smooth because that's what's going to show from her front pictures. And I'm going to spray the rest of the curl. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do another pin curl. So we're going to wrap it around and roll it into a nice little pin curl. So what I'll do here is I'll wrap it around my fingers again and put that in somewhere. Oh, and that's me. I love how people like to call me during my live shows. Okay, so that piece is going to go right in here, just like this. And you can gauge where you want each piece to go. There's no specific way of, like one way of doing something. You can easily just kind of play as you go. So I'm just going to do an invisible pinning here too. And now we have this lovely kind of a pin curl, if you guys can see that. Okay, now for the top sections. We're going to kind of have fun with this. So make sure you spray it really well, especially where the baby hairs are. Make sure everything is as smooth as possible. And we're going to use this comb to smooth out the surface. And get that really glamorous S-wave going on. So see how easy that was because we went crazy with our teasing and our spraying at the base. So we're able to get this awesome big wave right in here within seconds. Again, make sure that you're spraying really well on the surface so that little flyaways don't show. And now all we have to do is take these pieces, the loose pieces. I'm going to take her bangs out. These are her bangs, her shorter bangs. I'm taking those out. I'm going to do the back piece first, which is longer. So I'm just going to spray this curl and create another pin curl over here. So I just kind of create a little wave in there. And we'll pin it inside. Okay, looking good. And now we have this last piece that either we can leave loose if your client wants it loose, or we can do another pin curl. So we'll spray it really well. Now, anytime you do this style, it's never going to look exactly the same because your clients will have different hair lengths, different placement of their layers and all that stuff. So you kind of just have to see how their hair is naturally going and then figure out what you want to do, which is exactly what I'm doing on Irene because she has this lovely shorter bang piece. So I didn't add it to the original pin curl from the back because that hair was longer. So I just want to make this one a little more forward to get this awesome S-wave in. So I'm going to pin that in. And then once it's pinned, you want to spray it and really lock it in. Okay? So now we have these cascading pin curls. All right, now we're ready for the rest of this. So I'm going to bring this forward and kind of gauge how it looks. I do want to open it up because I want the hair to look a lot fatter, a lot thicker, more like Princess Jasmine hair. So I'm going to go crazy with my spraying real quick just so that I'm not losing too much hair when I'm doing this.
I'm like so cold from the hairspray.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. So what we're doing now is we're going to start opening up very gently, opening up the plates. So we're going to start pulling out some of this hair. So sometimes it helps starting from the bottom because we need this hair to come up. So we're going to start from the bottom and start pulling out little by little each section of hair. Just pulling it out until it gets a little fatter. So over here I'm taking a piece and I'm pulling it outward. Over here I'm going to take a piece, pull it out. And this hair is coming from down here, which is why I left a lot of hair here. We're going to need that hair to pull up these sections. So slowly, slowly, you're going to start pulling piece by piece, not chunk by chunk. It's just piece by piece so that it doesn't mess up your whole style. See how much thicker that looks than this? Again, pull it out, this piece, go into this piece. And it's just a lot of pulling. I just love this style. Like, I did it on myself in Mexico when I was like horseback riding. It's just so fun to like be a little fashionable. Dress it up, dress it down. Of course, when I was horseback riding, I didn't do this big old poof on the top. I left it as a flat head ponytail, and then I braided the rest of it.
I'm just picturing you with pin curls, like horseback riding.
All formal. Okay, so now we have this amazing fat braid. I'm bringing it forward. You get this really, really fancy, like, style. And it's so fun because it almost looks like you're not trying too hard. But it has this gorgeous, like, little curl at the end because we already pre-curled her hair. So now we have this amazing style that looks so beautiful. So what I'm doing now is I'm just giving it a good spray. Make sure you spray the bottom and the top. And make sure you kind of grab the hair so that it's not like too frizzy or anything. And arrange it how you want it. Another thing we can do with this, because it's a little stringy here, is we can go under it and tease it so it fluffs up a little bit. And when you tease it, make sure you spray it. And then just smooth out the very surface. So now we have a much fuller end and it doesn't look all stringy and little. And oh my god, you look so beautiful. You look like you could totally just put on like a Princess Jasmine outfit and go for like a...
Go to Disneyland.
Go to Disneyland. Make that money, honey. Okay. Get that moolah. So there you have it, guys. This is a complete 360 view of her amazing, amazing hair. Ah, I love it. Yay! Gorgeous, gorgeous. And of course, the front, you can do whatever you want. Like I said, when I went horseback riding, I put the front just back, like my ponytail right now, and then I braided from here down. Of course, I had to wear extensions for that. So 360 again. We have this amazing smooth side, which pushes all the hair back. And then the rest, we have this awesome S-wave and the loose braid. So I'm going to give you a recap of what we did. The first thing we did was we styled the hair. We made it a little bit curly at the end and straight at the roots. And I used my Tamana flat iron from the Tamana set. And then we sectioned the hair. We put the front away because we didn't want to deal with it right away. And we sectioned the very top of the hair. And what we ended up doing with the top of the hair is teasing it until about right here. Now on the bottom, we added extensions. Only from the ear level down, we added extensions. And I made sure that extensions were more towards this side than this side because I want the hair to go that way. So once that was done, we did the poof. We smoothed it out, pinned the base, and started doing this like crisscross pinning over here, crisscross, until about when the nape of the neck started. And then from here down was this whole fishtail braid. So it ends up looking nice and tight. Then we kind of finished up the whole sides here. We did the pin curl on this side. We did a nice smooth here. And then we went in and started opening up all these braided areas. And it becomes this beautiful fatty braid. And we bring it forward, and now she's ready to have her henna done because she's about to have her henna night. And bam, that's it. Oh, and then on the base, because I didn't want it to look too stringy, I teased this little fluff here, and then we have almost this Princess Jasmine poof right in here. And then make sure the ends are nice and curls. And now we have this amazing cutie pie hairstyle. So no, this is not like those YouTube tutorials where I'm just showing you how to fishtail braid. Someone said that, they're like, we can go to YouTube and learn that. But this is not about just the fishtail braid. This is totally about the overall appearance, making it look fancy, and giving you this amazing finished product that you kind of really need to practice. So make sure you're practicing your teasing, make sure you're practicing your spraying. I want you to spray enough. Don't be afraid of the hairspray, especially when you're using Trust Me. You could go nuts. It's only like $4. And then practice your openings and the little poof down here. So that is that. You look amazing, Irene.
Thank you. It's all to see you.
Thank you. So if you guys are wondering how to play this down and do the whole, like, you know, easy everyday fishtail braid, in that case, do not do the poof up here. It's going to look way too formal. Don't do the S-wave here. It's going to look way too formal. Instead, you could do your hair like mine, just all back, just tease it and put it all back into a ponytail. And then with your ponytail, you can fishtail braid all the way down. And that's kind of how I would do an everyday thing. And of course, you could open it up even more, go nuts with it, make it super messy, and kind of just figure out how big you want to go and then be done with it that way. So I'm going to give you one final spin on her so you guys can take your pictures of the screenshots, whatever, and kind of go nuts. So again, we have this beautiful S-wave, fatty braid, looks amazing. Turn around, and we have a nice clean side here because we have a lot going on. I keep touching your butt. We have a nice smooth side here because we have got a lot of texture on this side, and it's absolutely looking stunning. So if she was my Indian bride, like for her henna night, we could even add jewelry pieces in her hair. Have you ever seen those long jewelry pieces like the Indians kind of have? So you would pin those right inside the center of her hair, and it looks so amazing. Or put in a little tika, the headpiece, right along the center, have the strings coming across, and it just looks so phenomenal. So that's kind of how I would dress up my Indian bride if you were doing your henna night or something. Or even if this is your wedding. I have a lot of brides that like to have a traditional braid for their wedding. But in that case, because we don't have a stuffer up here, they're going to have a very lightweight dupatta, which is the head covering. So it doesn't smash down on the hairdo. So if she has a very thin piece, we could put it right here, have it go behind her, and so that this braid can show in the front. So that's how it's done. Thank you for joining. What time is it? It is 1:18. Okay, I have 10 minutes to answer more questions, as if I haven't answered enough. I'd like to answer some more questions for you over the next 10 minutes, and then we go bye-bye. Thank you, Irene.
Thank you.
We're going to switch spots. I'll have you sit next to me. Your shoe. That's pretty awesome. Okay, time to answer some questions. I'm going to refresh so we can get all up in here. Okay, we don't have Trust Me hairspray here. Any other recommendations? Honestly, I've tried so many hairsprays. I don't recommend anything other than Trust Me hairspray. But you know, you'll be surprised by what's in the drugstores. So you have to kind of try and see what's good for you. Like, I like Trust Me hairspray because I do updos and downdos, so I want it soft enough that I could do a downdo and not make it look crazy. Or I can do an updo, a crazy Bollywood updo, make it feel like a helmet head because it's so strong. Like, your hair is pretty strong on the top. And then the bottom is all soft. So the hairspray for me does like the best of both worlds. But I've tried like, Kenra is really good. I like Kenra. It's a little softer. I've not found like a really strong hold. But I like Kenra hairspray for shine basically and for like a soft hold. Yeah, so that's kind of it. But I would try my best to get your hands on the Trust Me just because it's so easy and it's so cheap. Please show you how you do invisible pinning. I just did. when you see the recording, you could blow it up on your screen. Can we fix that, please? We can blow it up on the screen so that, or you can blow it up on your screen so that you can really see where I did it. Basically, when I do a pin curl, I pin the pin curl inside, like on the underneath part of the curl, in a place where it will be hidden by the next piece of hair. So make sure that your pins aren't showing by putting it in a place where the next piece of hair is going to cover it. What's the difference between a hairspray versus mousse? A mousse you would use usually on damp hair and then blow dry, and it adds a little bit of volume on the roots. Hairspray you can use on dry hair, and I don't work with wet hair, so I use hairspray only because I can use it on dry hair and you can get this nice like strong hold. It gets a little sticky if you use too much, but the Tresemme I've noticed doesn't really do that for me, and I'm usually like, I know how much to use. I've been using it for so long, so definitely play with the products that you have on hand so you can figure out what works better for you. About the extensions, do the clients have to provide it or do you charge extra for that, and can they rent it and bring it back to you? So a long time ago, when I first kind of started the whole hair career thing, I used to rent out hair extensions. Actually, before I even rented it out, I used to let my clients borrow it. I would never get it back. So I stopped doing that. Then I thought, okay, maybe if I rent it out, like 25 bucks, whatever, I'll rent it out and then they could bring it back. Well, honeys, the clients go on their honeymoons and then they come back and they move and then there's no real way to track them down and it becomes a little crazy. So I kept losing my stuff that way. Now, I'm a busy woman. I don't have time to go buy stuff. Like, I'm literally working around the clock every day. So I do now expect my clients to have that with them. So I let them know based on the hairstyle that they want to go with and based on looking at their hair or whatever they're saying on the phone during our phone consultation, I do let them know that, okay, if you need extensions for this hairstyle, which normally, even if they have a lot of hair, I usually recommend that they bring a pack of human hair extensions with them just in case we need it to hide something or to add a little poof somewhere. So I tell them, bring your hair extensions, make sure it's human hair. I usually recommend Bombay hair. You can use my code DYF for a discount on any of the Bombay hairs. And I usually tell them bring the clip-ons because that way I can choose the width of it and clip it accordingly. So yeah, I do recommend that my clients bring it and not me. And a couple more questions and then I'm going to talk about some other stuff. What oil-based makeup remover do you recommend for removing lashes? For removing lashes, I like Bifacil. Bifacil eye makeup remover is from Lancome and it has a lot of oil in it and it just eats away the glue really nicely so you can slide the lashes off. Now, because I have lash extensions on, I'm no longer allowed to use oil-based removers, so I switched to Episil, which is also by Lancome, and that is completely water-based, but it's not going to help too much with removing lashes unless you do soak your eye for a couple of minutes. And one more question. Oh, someone's asking about the different Tresemme. Okay, I'll answer two more questions. Someone says, what's the difference between the Tresemme 4 and the Tresemme 5? How do they compare? They're both awesome. I've used both. They both work well, but I love the 5 only because it's super, super strong hold. The 4, sometimes I have to spray a little bit more and wait for it to dry for it to hold perfectly, but it still works. So if they don't have 5 in stock, get the 4. I always, like, when I go to the store and if I need to get that hairspray, if I've run out, if they don't have 5, I won't go to another store and find the 5. I'll just go ahead and get the 4. But normally, I'm very happy if I find the 5. I buy all of them from the shelves. And the last question is, do you use corrector first and then foundation? It's a makeup question. And concealer to hide the dark circles, or the corrector goes on top of foundation as well? You could totally do either way. Now, I'm going to be showing you guys how to correct the skin and dark circles and all that stuff in my next class on Wednesday. That's 2 days away. That's going to be the correcting skin class. So I will be explaining a little bit more, but I could do it either way. Sometimes I've done corrector first and then foundation over it. Sometimes I do foundation first and then corrector, and then put a little bit of foundation from whatever's left on my favorite foundation brush over that. There's ways that you can do it. As long as it's blended and as long as it doesn't look crazy, you're okay. Don't be too caught up in what goes first, what goes second. As far as the cream products are concerned, you could kind of flip-flop concealer and foundation accordingly. But yeah, if it's a major, major dark circle, usually what I do is I'll put on an orange concealer first and then put on their regular concealer over it so that it doesn't look too orange. And that is it for today. It is 1:25. I'm going to use this second bit of 5 minutes to explain to you the next giveaway that we're doing. So like I said at the beginning of class, I don't know if you guys missed that, but I am going to be giving away an entire set of the Tamada hairstyling set from Bombay Hair. So one lucky winner from this episode is going to receive this entire set, and it basically comes with hair straightener full size, which is what I use today. It also comes with a curling wand base with these 3 sizes. So the reason why I chose these sizes is because these are the only sizes I use when I do my updos and my downdos. And if you want it bigger, all you have to do is use the biggest size wand to get those big waves and then brush it out with like the Layla Milani hairbrush, which looks like this. This is the Layla Milani Miracle Brush. So you just brush out the hair and it becomes even bigger, looser curl. But other than that, I use it kind of straight. Comes with a stand, comes with my clips, comes with a heat-resistant mat, comes with a heat-resistant glove, and comes with a 1-year warranty. You can't beat that. So the whole thing valued at $200. Actually, it's valued at way more, but we priced it at $200 so that it's like affordable for everybody or anyone who's serious about hairstyling. And you can get that for free if you enter this giveaway and if you end up being the chosen winner. So basically how you're going to do the giveaway, you're going to wait for my flyer. I'm going to post it later today. I'm going to post the flyer later today or tomorrow so that you can see how to enter exactly. But basically what it is with every other class is you repost the flyer on your Instagram page and you also post up a picture, a screenshot from this class, from the latest class. So this giveaway is for this class. So you're going to prove to me that you watched this class. So you're going to take a picture from anything that we were doing in class today, and you're going to post that on your Instagram as well. So you're basically going to have 2 posts, or you can put in a collage into 1 post, whatever you want. And that's going to be how you enter. And I will explain the rules when I post the giveaway flyer on the page. So that's what's going to win. That's what you're going to win if you choose to enter and you get chosen as a winner. And this is open internationally. Anybody can win from anywhere around the world because I know a lot of my lovely viewers out there are international. So thank you again for watching. And the next thing that I'm going to talk about, actually, we have a lot of surprises coming up. A lot of surprises. So the next surprise that obviously you already know is the next class on Wednesday, which is the skin transformation class, which has been like my #1 request since I did the contour class. So we're going to do that on Wednesday, so make sure you watch that. And then after that, I'm planning some major surprises. So stay tuned in March. March is going to be a crazy month. We're going to have so much going on, so many surprises, so many classes, and the certification classes are coming up, and I'm going to tell you how to sign up for your certificate if you are very serious about getting your hair and makeup certificate. This class is for you for around the world. You don't have to fly all the way here and learn from me one-on-one. You can totally do it online, and it's very intense. So there is going to be a quiz at the end of every episode so that you can like prove to me that you understand what you were doing, and we're good. So thank you again. We will talk next time. See you on Wednesday, and we're out. Bye.